Hi summoners, what is up? Welcome to a new League of Legends video. Today we'll be looking at three mechanics. One will be the reverse Cassio ultimate in detail. The second one will be some numbers, some mathematics to the Bard passive. So you can be a little bit smarter in game with picking up the Bard things. And the third mechanic are some sweet ward spots that you may not know about. So let's jump right into it. The first mechanic is the reverse ultimate from Cassio, and I tried it like 300, 400 times, but I didn't get it, how it works, because sometimes the ultimate was sometimes the animation was in one direction and stun the people in the other direction, but most ultimates just stun them in the direction I was watching it. And after like 20 minutes and 300 flashes and 400 ultimates later, I found out that the direction you stun the enemy will be the direction you flash in, and the ultimate itself, the animation of this green yellow stun will force in the direction you flash in. Like if you just click R and flash in some direction, this animation will look in the same direction you flash it in, and the stun will also be in the same direction. But if you look in any direction and you ult behind you and then flash in the direction you want to stun the enemy, then the ultimate animation will be in the opposite direction of the stun. So if you want to force the animation of your ultimate in the opposite direction of the stun, you have to ult in the opposite direction of where you're looking at. It's a little bit complicated to explain for me, but here you see it. And that was the Cassio mechanics. Let's jump right into the next one, the Bard mathematics, the Bard numbers, and his chimes will spawn after 35 seconds and then they will come after every 50 seconds. You can also see that on my website, and you can print it or write it on paper. So you get into it, and if you play Bard, this can help you a lot. Maybe you now think it's like, yeah, okay, then they spawn then and I go catch them later. But the problem is, if you went to the jungle to collect the chimes, and the chimes spawn while you are in the jungle, they can also spawn on top lane or something, because there's a little radius they will spawn in, and this radius increases per minute, per game time. So if you're in late game, the radius will be bigger. So every time you go in the jungle to collect your chimes, you should be aware when the next one will spawn. Because if you went to the mid lane to collect one, then they may spawn in the top lane, and you don't have time to walk to the top lane just to collect them. So you should always be aware when they spawn, so they will spawn near to you. Okay, that's it from the Bard mechanics, the Bard mathematics, and let's jump right into the last one. These are some sweet wall wards you can place, and you may not know that you can place them there. So the first ones are, I think, the easiest, because the easiest of the, if you compare to the others. These are in the mid lane, and here you can place them from the turret, into this brush, and on the other side too. How it works, you have to stay near to the turret, and then you have to think of a line that's in the middle of the wall, and then you have to put the ward on the brush side of this line, and on the maximum radius you can place it. Then it will automatically spawn in there. If you place it on the other side of the line, the ward will appear outside of the brush. Also the same for the other side. These are I think the easiest of those ward walls. The second one is at bot lane. If you're at bot lane and you want to place it over the wall, you can use this small little stone you see there and place it in the middle or maybe a little left of the stone, and the ward will appear in the brush. It will maybe look like there's not enough vision because there's a bit of the fog of war, but it's just a bug. If you place an enemy dummy, you can still see them, also if it seems that they are in fog of war. This is just a visual bug. The other one on the top lane, on the opposite side of the map, it's a bit more difficult, but I found out you can place it if you stay on if you stand next to this wall on this spot and you go with your camera onto this mountain, onto the stones. You can see this little stone, and you have to place the ward on the top right side of the stone. Then the ward will appear in the brush. And for me this is the most difficult ward in Summoner's Rift, because I make it like 100 times and more than half of it didn't fit into the brush. It's very difficult to make it in there, but that's it. That's how you do it. And now we're here at the Drake Pit, and it's also pretty easy to place this ward inside the brush. There were some people that thought it's impossible, but it's still possible. You just have to click on the small stone that's over there next to the brush, and the ward will just easily fit into there. If you just click on the trees or anything anywhere over there, it won't work, but on this little stone it will work. The same thing at the Baron Pit. It's a bit easier there because there's a bigger stone that affects the terrain a bit, and that makes the ward placing much easier. And the last two spots are also at the Dragon and Baron Pit, and these are the brushes outside of the pit that are not directly connected to the pit. I didn't know it's possible to place them there, but it is. I tried a few times and I found out it is difficult, especially because if you want to place the ward outside of the radius, your character, your champion will walk there, and that's pretty annoying. So you can just instant spam it because your character will walk, your champion will walk. But I found out a way you can place it. You have to place the ward on the outer leaf of the brush. Maybe you see it in this. I make a red circle or something so you can better see it, and if you place it over there, it will always be inside. I think the Baron Pit is a bit more difficult, I'm not sure, but it's possible, and yeah, it looks very nice, I think, because this is a spot that's very important if you do Baron, and if you want to start it fast, you don't have the time to walk over there and put the ward down. Or maybe the enemy just cleared this ward and the enemy jungler camps in there to steal the Drake. And with this mechanic you can easily place a ward there, just on the outer leaves of the brush, and it will just place down. Pretty nice. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and you can also win something. All you have to do is just subscribe to this channel and write down in the comment #WallWards. After that, your server you are playing on, the server you want the RP, and if you are the winner, I'll contact you and you'll get the RP. If you don't answer in a week or in a month, let's look how I'll make it. So yeah, I see you in the next video. I'm out.